Kia ora whanau, you're here with me, the Māori Wargamer, and today we'll be playing a Warhammer 40k battle report. Sure. Alright, so today we'll be playing a 50 power level battle. Sorry for those all wanting the bigger games, but we start small, build up to the action. So a 50 power level battle between the Dark Angels and the Death Guard. First appearance of the Death Guard in the battle reports. Look at those beautifully painted models. Bon appetit. Anyway, today we'll be playing an Eternal War mission from the new from chapter approved, Dominate and Destroy. So how that works, we've got 6 objective markers on the field. We'll be scoring victory points for at the end of each of our turns for the objectives we control. And then you've got your basic line breaker, slay the warlord, first blood, etc. And yeah, so for those who enjoy the bit of narrative that I craft into these battle reports, if you remember the very first campaign, Space Wolves versus the Dark Angels, saw the Dark Angels fighting for an information cache against the Space Wolves, while the information contained in that one ended up directing them to this planet in hunt of the Fallen, who I haven't yet named, but this campaign's called the Hunt or something like that. So anyway, the Dark Angels have landed on this planet to be ambushed by my own custom warband, the Hollow Swarm, a Death Guard army. They're allied with the Crimson Slaughter, who you've already seen on the channel. But yeah, that's what this game is about. 5 turns, running, slugging out each other. Dark Angels taking the first turn. Before we get into the battle though, whanau, we will take a closer look at the armies that we'll be playing with today. Leading the Dark Angels, we have a battalion detachment led by a company master with a power sword and a combi plasma, and a librarian with a force sword and a bolt pistol. A company champion with a combat shield and a relic blade. 3 tactical squads, 1 5-man squad with a las cannon and a sergeant with a power maul and a grav pistol. 10-man squad here with plasma gun, plasma cannon, plasma pistol and chainsword on the sergeant, and a 5-man squad here with a melter gun and a sergeant with a power sword and a bolt pistol, and a rhino with a storm bolter. And we have a battalion detachment of Death Guard, the Hollow Swarm, led by a Lord of Contagion with a Plague Reaper and a Malignant Plague Caster with a Corrupted Staff and a bolt pistol. A Noxious Blightbringer with a big bell and a plasma pistol, and a little Nurgling with a regular bell. 2 5-man Plague Marine squads, 1 5-man squad with a plasma gun and a champion with a power fist, and another squad here, power fist champion and a blight launcher. And 10 Poxwalkers with close combat improvised weapons. Fetid Bloat Drone with 2 plague spitters and a plague probe, and a Mythic Blight Hauler with a missile launcher, multi-melter, and a mouth. Alright, so in the movement phase, Dark Angels, turn 1. The Devastators here, hiding behind cover. Gonna need to look at investing into a drop pod with them. Get them into more critical zones, but at least they can hold on to that objective there. Tactical squad here, Melter squad, moving across, following the Master and the Librarian. Champions racing forward, Rhinos racing forward, seizing that objective, and the boys here, las cannon squad, holding off. So we'll see if we make any shooting in the shooting phase, and we'll get back to you. Alright, so I forgot to mention playing with this stratagem fresh from the Dark Angels Codex, Hunt the Fallen. So select the infantry character in your opponent's army. He's suspected to know the whereabouts of the fallen. That would be this Lord of Contagion here. So he's getting +1 to his attack, but all Dark Angels units reroll hit rolls against him in the fight phase. So it's going to come in handy. It brings me down to 5 command points. For the shooting phase, we've just forgone it pretty much. We're just moving across the field, so these guys all advanced. I stood still. Actually got las cannon and a storm bolter from that to shoot, and then that'll be the end. Coming to that. Alright, fine, so end of Dark Angels, turn 1. Not a lot of action happening there, it's all building up. We start off slow, warm it up into the end game. We have acquired 3 victory points so far for these 3 objectives that we hold. And we got a las cannon shot into there, bringing us down to 6 wounds remaining. And so yeah, we're going to see what happens as the Death Guard retaliate on turn 1. In the movement phase for the Death Guard, the Hollow Swarm on turn 1. Bloat drones moving forward. Plague Marines here standing still, securing this objective. Poxwalker Swarm rambling forward, accompanied by the Lord of Contagion. Blight Haulers driving forward, these guys, these 2 here securing the objective. So go into psychic phase or shooting phase if there's any psychic abilities, and come back to you. Alright, fine, and another quick turn. This is going to be a quick battle report, eh? Interesting. So that thing's gone on 6 wounds remaining. That thing took off 2 wounds with his multi-mounter. These guys have advanced. They have advanced. Everyone's still out of range for shooting. End of the turn though, we've got 2 victory points secured here. And yeah, so it's 2 to 3 at the moment. End of turn 1, back to Dark Angels. Turn 2. Alright, so end of movement phase for Dark Angels on turn 2. These guys standing still, of course, securing the objective. The Devastator squads moved forward a bit, looking to bring their heavy weaponry onto the advancing Blight Hauler and Plague Marines. This tactical squad here is moved off towards this way, accompanied by Librarian Termiel, and Master Balthasar is coming over this way. The Champion and Squad Raphael over here are looking to come into some close quarters combat. The Champion leading that charge, of course. I have activated another stratagem here as well. Tactical flexibility. So use a stratagem at the start of any movement phase. Select the Dark Angels unit that has 10 models and combat squad it to 2 separate units. So that has come in handy because we've split off the squad here and that squad here to hold the objective. As troops, they automatically get that one. They don't contest it. Rhinos moved forward. My opponent has played Cloud of Flies, a stratagem there, so he's got 5 remaining to my 3. Meaning that we have to shoot the closest enemy models being the Poxwalkers, which is fine by me. And yeah, we're going to get into some shooting phase. Compared to the first turn, this is going to be some action. Stay tuned. Actually, we've got some psychic. Yeah. Right, so psychic phase for Dark Angels turn 2. Roll for my powers. We've got Mind Worm and Engulfing Fear. I'm going to cast Mind Worm onto the Blight Hauler, which brings it, means it fights last and it suffers a mortal wound. So it's going to go off on a 6. Do you want to deny? And my opponent's going to deny. Oh, double 1, that's perils. Alright, so man, this guy must be affected by the cloud of flies buzzing over there. Zzz, zzz. Put some fly animations on that. Hold position there, fly animations. Anyway, so he's these 3 mortal wounds. And 2, so he's down to 3. And we're going to cast Smite. see what we get. 6. Alright, whanau, so we're just having a bit of a disagreement here. So now, I was looking from the camera's eye. I guess I can see where my opponent is coming from. He reckons that he should get a +1 cover save to the Blight Hauler because he's scared that it's going to get blown up. And looking in the rules, it says within terrain feature, unlike the old rules where if it's partially covered. So looking at it through there, I guess I might be inclined to give him that +1, except in this instance there, a quick resolution, we rolled off the dice and he got a 1. So for this instance, we're gonna I'll give him his +1 to cover. Anyway, we're gonna hit first before we even get into that. So hitting on 3s. Black dice in there is the melter gun. Alright, nice. 5 up demonic, invulnerable. No. 5 up disgustingly resilient. Off the table, so it doesn't count. Oh! And D6 damage here. Finish it off. It's got 3 wounds remaining. D6. Woo! 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 Yeah, baby. Let's get that. That's a little cinematic shot here. For the lion! Yeah! Does it explode on a 4? Oh, and it explodes! It's command pointing to re-roll that dice. Oh, that's cocked. That is cocked. Re-roll that. Come on, 5. Explode on the death guard. Oh, it explodes! Yeah. Mushroom clouds, people. We're going to see the damage it does to the Plague Marines. And the champion's going to make a 6-inch charge into the Lord of Contagion. He's got no weapons to overwatch with, so 6 inches. Oh. Gonna use a command point. Got 1 more left. Reroll that 1. Yes, we're in. Alright, so fight phase. We've got some action here going on. The champion of the 5th company is taking on the Lord of Contagion himself without the backup of Master Balthasar, who was on his way. Could be reckless. He's powered up, he's juiced up on my 1 command point stratagem. It's given me the ability to reroll failed hits, when in fact the company and champion automatically does that. So yeah, might have just sealed his doom, but it looks cool. Anyway, here we go, 3 attacks. Hitting on 2s, all hits, 5. And toughness 5, and he is strength
4,
7.
Oh.
It's all given +3, so 3s. 3 hits, yeah baby.
Any -10?
So 3 4-up invulnerables to start. Failed 2. They become disgustingly resilient.
Oh, yeah,
So 2 5-up, disgustingly resilient. 1 made, 1 failed.
I'll cop the boom.
Alright, and it does D3 damage. Oh, 3 wounds. Alright, so Lord of Contagion, he's dealt back his attacks with his Man Reaper. 3 wounds cut in. So we've got 3 5-up invulnerables with the shield. Only made 1. So failed 2 that does 3 flat damage. Flat 3 or D3?
Is it Man Reaper or Plague Reaper?
Is it Man Reaper or Plague Reaper? We'll come back and do a rules clarification. Alright, so that's the end of the Dark Angels turn 2. Man Reaper? Plague Reaper. Man Reaper.
Plague Reaper.
Plague Reaper. The Lord of Contagion ended up taking down the Dark Angels 5th Company champion in one-on-one combat. It was to be expected, but he took down 3 of his wounds, bringing them down to only 3 remaining. So he's a hero. He's only injured, So his battle brothers are going to carry him out, take him to the apothecary, and make sure he's all fixed up for the next fight. Anyway, a lot of damage done on that turn. We took down the light drone, light hauler, whatever it is, who blew up and took out a plague marine. Yeah, so the concentrated fire on that side. We forgot about that guy, but yeah, he's going to die anyway, so he's just going to find somewhere close to, somewhere nice to die. And we took out a bunch of poxwalkers, so that's us moving into end of turn 2. We've also secured another 4 objectives this time, 4, so that's +4 victory points, plus first blood, which puts me on 8 to my opponent's 2. So things are bound to change in the next turn, I'm sure. We'll see what happens as we go into Death Guard, the Hollow Swarm, turn 2. Alright, so Death Guard, Hollow Swarm, turn 1, movement, turn 2, movement phase. Everyone just stood still a lot. These guys have just moved forward, and the Plague Caster, quick little zoom in on him. He's firing some ball of something, diseases I guess. Still moving forward slowly. He's moving forward, learns his lesson from his old friend. He's hoping to detonate and wipe out a big field there. So we're going to see what happens as we go into Psychic phase. Death Guard. Alright, so into the Psychic phase, the disgusting Plague Caster successfully put off Smite, taking out just 1, and also cast a foul Plague Wind. An ominous wind blows through the battlefield. Woo! And ended up poisoning another marine to death despite the efforts of the so far underwhelming Librarian Termiel. I'm going to have to request another Librarian for the 5th Company. But yeah, battle still goes on. We're going to go see some shooting phases. Alright, so end of the shooting phase for the Hollow Swarm. These guys saved easy. The squad brought low, concentrated fire, concentrated everything. These guys shot into them. These guys, the Plague Caster cast a spell. Only the brave Sergeant Raphael, who you might remember from Dark Vengeance. He's the lone survivor against the swarm, the Hollow Swarm. We're going to go into some charges. Lord of Contagion is going to rack up another kill under his Plague Reaper. Stay tuned, whanau. The entertainment, the quality battle reports. Just hit that 50 subscriber limit. On 50 subscribers, that's a celebration for the channel there. I appreciate you all watching, subscribing, liking it up, hey. These battle reports videos get the most views and content. So I do enjoy bringing out the quality, which, I mean, don't we always deliver there, whanau? Look at these beautifully painted models for you. Anyway, let's see what happens. Charge phases. Alright, so we're into some fights. We've got the Poxwalkers and the mighty Lord of Contagion looking to fell another opponent. Poxwalkers looking to add the Sergeant Raphael to their ranks. These guys here have also advanced to secure the objective. Is that 3 inches? Is that 3 inches? We'll say it is. Keep it spicy for you guys, but yeah, loving it. Alright, so we're at the end of Death Guard, turn 2. The mighty Plague Reaper axe has felled another Space Marine. And that is actually the canon ending of Sergeant Raphael, unfortunately there. He's fallen. I'm going to find a new company sergeant to replace the 5th squad of the 5th Company. So he's fallen. Then all of a sudden, play an ominous wind arises. The Poxwalkers are growling and laughing. They're going mad. Oh, Oh, out of the from the dead corpse, another poxwalker. And the undead swarm grow. Yeah, baby. That's what you watch, the narrative, the story time. You love it. Anyway, what else has happened? 1, 2, 3 objectives granted, so they're on 5 to my 8. It's a pretty close game as we go into Dark Angels turn 3. Alright, so final end of movement phase for Dark Angels on turn 3. 8 to 5 so far, 8 to Dark Angels, 5 to Death Guard. Yeah, the combat is about to pop in here. Master Balthasar, only thing that stands between him and the wounded Lord of Contagion is these Poxwalker swarms. Attack squad here. Rhino's moving back, hoping to secure a cheeky line breaker victory. Everyone is in position to open heavy fire. So we'll go to the psychic phase first. Termiel is going to redeem himself. We're going to get some smarts off, baby. Yeah, baby. See how we go. Termiel, 3 wounds remaining. Mind Worm. Going off on 6. Woo! So it goes off on a 7. That goes off into the Blight Drone. Do you want to deny that?
Yeah, I'll deny it.
Just denying it. Hey, do you get perils for double ones on a deny?
I don't know, I don't think so. On a deny, you wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Lucky. Right, so that's gone off, reduces him to 1 wound and he goes last in the fight phase. And you'll use this to deny. So we're also going to cast Smite. It'll go off against the Blight Drone again, the closest enemy model. Off on a 5. D3 wounds. 2 wounds remaining on that. Whoa, 6. So that's 3 wounds and it's dead. And it doesn't explode.
I'm going to use putrid detonation.
Oh, okay. Alright, so we're checking if it does explode while my opponent's used. He's only got 1 more command point remaining. Putrid detonation. Using this stratagem, when one of your Death Guard vehicles is destroyed, do not roll a dice, it automatically explodes. So, like the shenanigans that we saw with the Blight Hauler, it's going to explode within a 7-inch radius. So that's going to affect a whole bunch of units. Thankfully, it only deals 1 mortal wound, but it's going to hurt. So, we're going to see what's happening. Alright, so the smoke has cleared and got Master Balthasar down to 5, Termiel down to 2. Lost Attack Marine, lost a Plague Walker, Poxwalker, and old mate here down to 2 more wounds. It's going to be easy pickings. First thing we need to do is slay off these pesky Poxwalkers so we can get to them. Let's see some entertainment, whanau. There's the Dark Angels shooting phase, turn 3. The path is now cleared after a terrible round of shooting to kill the Lord of Contagion. So Balthasar, he is going to just fire his combi plasma, he's going to supercharge it, and he rerolls his 1s. Straight into Lord of Contagion, hitting on 2s. Hits. 3s to wound, no command points for me. See how we do. Oh, 6s. Let's go straight through. 4 up invulnerable saves, and then a 5 up disgustingly resilient. So past that. Oh, failed. And he is dead.
What do they do, 2 wounds each?
Yeah, it's supercharged. R.I.P. Yeah, baby. Lions roar. Alright, whanau, and we're drawing closer and closer to the end of this mission, I feel. Turn 3. That bloke drone smited to oblivion, blew up some people. Had a really terrible round of shooting. I took these devastators into the noxious Blightbringer here. Couldn't land a single hit with like, what was that? Like 9 shots. Couldn't hit these guys. I ended up concentrating all my tactical squads into the poxwalkers just so we could finish off the Lord Contagion, which I guess it pays off. That's the Slayer Warlord as well, actually. So I'm on 12 victory points to 7, and we're just going to do some charges now. Just tie up these units as we're coming towards the end. Alright, so that charge there, whanau, is using his last command point to enact the Blight Bombardment. Use this stratagem just before a friendly Deathwatch unit shoots or fires Overwatch. Every model in the unit can throw a Blight grenade instead of only one. So that becomes D6 hits, D6 shots, and then all hitting on 6s, I guess. So yeah, we've got 4 units, 4 models in that unit. So 4, 5, 4, 1, 14. So 5, 14. So 14 shots, hitting on 6s. Man, it's going to hurt. Alright, so a devastating Overwatch fire from those Blight grenades, Blight Bombardment. Owie. Only the Sergeant has survived. Formerly of the Deathwing, if you can tell by his helmet. I'm going to go 2 attacks on 3s. And then that's 4s because they're equal. And nothing. Alright, so end of Dark Angel's turn 3.
3 points.
Yeah, just 3, because that one's contested. 3 points for the command, for the objectives held. Yeah, I'm running out of units. He's running out of units too. It's very interesting. Going to Death Guard on turn 3. Right, so Death Guard turn 3. This guy everyone stood still this turn, except that one guy who's moved over here, so we can see the tank. This combat's still locked in. He's cast Plague Wind there to take down one more Marine, but everyone else is still standing strong, and now we're going into the shooting phase. Alright, so they managed to knock off 1 wound. This is the end of Death Guard turn 3. Coming into end game here. Only got Plague Marines and these 2 guys left. But not a lot happening on the Dark Angel side as well. These guys are just going to keep holding that objective till the end of the game. Might be a good turn to start retreating actually. Retreat and just hold. So at the moment I'm sitting on 15 to Death Guard 9. See what happens as we go to Dark Angel's turn 4. Right, so Dark Angel's movement phase, turn 4. Still ahead on the victory points. Master Balthasar is coming in to take out this Plaguecaster here. Tremiel is going to take on these 4 remaining Plague Marines. These guys are still holding objective. These guys as well still holding objective. I've retreated the 2 attack Marines here into the crater for cover and hopefully hold this objective for the end of the game. And I've pulled out the Rhino from this combat that was here. If they want to kill the Rhino, they're going to have to leave this objective unsecured and thus lose this a victory point. So we're going to see what's going to happen. We're going to go into the psychic phase. Tremiel is going to cast Mind Worm onto the Plague Marines here. Going off on 6. And it goes off on 8.
That's it.
8. Do you want to deny?
I'll deny.
7. Failed. So there's 1 mortal wound and they lose. So that's 1 guy dead. And they go last in the fight phase. Tremiel is also going to cast off Smite. Does not go off. You're going to have to kill these guys the old-fashioned way. So the mighty 5th Company Master Balthasar, wielder of the Heavenfell Blade, and carrying a master-crafted combi plasma, is firing simply the plasma shot, the plasma gun of the combi plasma into the Plaguecaster. So landed 2 hits, supercharged hits. And we're going to see if we can make 2 5-up disgustingly resilience to save. 1 passed, 1 failed, and supercharged does 2 damage. Right, 2 left. Spicy. Right, for end of shooting phase for the Dark Angels, we took down the Bell guy, Blightbringer. Plaguecasters down to 2 more wounds remaining. Took down 2 of the Plague Marines, so Terminal, that should be easy pickings, bro. Don't fail that. These guys here holding that objective. These guys here, they took some pot shots. Not much. Heroes of this turn. I'm going to see some charges and hopefully the eradication of the Death Guard. Alright, so Termiel definitely getting kicked out of the 5th Company. How did he screw up? 3 attacks against this Plague Marine. Mighty Balthasar though, 4 hits with his Heavenfell Blade. 4 hits, 4 wounds, 4 disgustingly resilient 5-up saves. What? He passed all 4. Oh my golly ollies. My golly ollies. Right, well that's the end of Dark Angels turn 4. Another 3 command victory points there for me, please. These 2 fight combats are still ongoing. Oh my gosh. The old Mortarian Nurgle's looking out for this guy. 4 5-up saves he just made. If I didn't film it, you would never believe it. On to Death Guard turn 4. Alright, finally, so my opponent will just decide to end the game there on turn 4 of the Death Guard. Not a lot they could do. These guys locked in combat. Reckon the Plague Marine would have killed him, I reckon, though. How badly he's been doing. Yeah, these guys secure the objective, but not a lot to be done with the forces of the Lion. On board in force here, and that ends mission 1 of the Dark Angels Death Guard campaign, The Hunt. So, yeah, an overwhelming victory. 18 victory points to 9. Action going off. Got the first debut of the Hollow Swarm Army. Celebrating 50 subscribers on the channel there. Thank you once again. The mighty Rhino, the forces of the Lion are still strong. So we've had a victory here. We're going to chase after the Death Guard to track down the Fallen, as the Fallen are gathering in numbers as of the end of Dark Imperium. The hunt will never stop. We'll see next mission, Deathwing being called in from shore, as a result of the new information gained from the defeat of the Lord of Contagion. So just make sure you stay tuned in for that there, whanau. Stay tuned for this great action, adventure, all the entertainment that I bring you here, the multi-wargamer on the channel. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that battle report. 50 power level, I think I'm happy with those types of games. So thanks again. Like and subscribe. I am the multi-wargamer. Ka kite. Whanau.